Hello everybody, and welcome back to Diabetes Daily. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different that I haven't done on my channel yet. Actually, I haven't done a lot on the channel yet. There's only 2 videos, I think, on the channel right now. But this will be number 3. So, this thing that I'm going to be doing that is a little unusual. I personally like WWE, and I like my action figures. And sometimes the action figures just that Mattel makes, I mean, they don't quite cut it. You know what I mean? So we gotta take things into our own hands. You know, we gotta make our own action figures. And well, up until recently, I wasn't very good at it. And with practice comes greatness. All right. So I today will be teaching you all how to do the basics with your WWE action figures. So, with that being said, let's get into the video and what you'll need for this video. Alright, so one of the things that you're going to want for sure is a cup that's a fair size. This cup is the one that I got last time WWE was in my area. I think it was Monday Night Raw. So, you're going to want a fairly big cup. Just whatever, you know, kind of cups that they'll sell at your local arenas that are like, I don't know, probably 32-ounce cups, I'd say that this is. So you're going to want one of these, and you're going to want your action figures. And I'm also going to use, this is either Diego or whatever their names were from Los Matadores. I'm just going to use them because, you know, the figures aren't that important to me anymore. So I'm going to use these guys. So what you want to do, and also something else that you will need, is screwdrivers. Now, it's not imperative that you have all the ones that I do. I actually don't even use all of these. The ones I like to use the most are this medium-ish sized screwdriver flathead, and then also this small one. So you can see how small that is. You want it to be pretty small, and you'll see why. A lot of people, they'll use bigger ones like this. I'll put these in scale with the figure real quick. Just get him sat down. So you can see how big these are. Like I said, I prefer these medium-ish sized ones, and I'll explain that once we get into the video. Okay, everyone. So what you're gonna want to do, like I said, I don't really like this big style one, so I usually just keep that in there and slide it away. And then, so what you're going to want to do is take your cup, and you're going to want to fill it probably to about, like, right here with water. Alright, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, now then, once that is filled up, move all of the stuff that you have, move all your stuff, move it out to the side here, and then throw this thing in the microwave. Depending on your microwave, I usually microwave mine for about 2 minutes, and that gets the job done fairly well, so I'm going to pop that in. Alright, so once that's in there, you're going to want to get definitely a rag of some sort, because you're going to be dealing with water, and also it's going to be very, very hot water. So once the figures come out of the water, you're going to want to dry them off and all that, and I'll show you how. Alright, now that our water is done, and the cup is going to be pretty hot, so if you need to grab it with a rag, go ahead. But usually with this kind of cup, it's fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit it down right here in front of you. And now the figures, they're going to go in, well, if you're torso swapping, they're going to go in head first. But if you're doing other types of swaps, you know, like legs, whatever, they're going to go in feet first. So since he has all this head, skin, and arms, I'm going to put him in, and then we can just do everything for him. And then for this Macho Man, we'll also put him in head first. And the reason I said to only fill it up to about there is because once you put figures in, the water level rises, and so you just don't want all that hot water spilling everywhere. We can go ahead and see if this Macho Man got hot enough yet. So when you pull it out, you're going to splash the water out of it kind of like this for a little bit, because it's going to be hot and all that. And so then you're going to want to take and dry it off. It might have gotten hot enough. I don't think it did, though. The water might not have gotten hot enough either. So what you want to do with your figures, once you have them hot and you're ready, you can see lines on this one already because it's already been cracked once. But that's fine. So what you want to do, what I do at least, is take your medium-ish size and get it in between the shoulder peg and the back, like this, like so. And so then what you do with it is you kind of just pry. And like I said, this one's been cracked before, so it's really loose. And then you can do the same, exact same on the other side. So get it in between and pry. And then you can see it start to do this. So then from here, what I like to do is put it down the neck and just kind of push. And then you can pull with the rest and all that. And something that's actually vital to the figure, this little black thing right here, you don't want to lose that, or if you do, make sure you have a replacement or that you can find it, because this is like what keeps the figure's torso from being all loose and all that and just wobbling everywhere. So there's that. Then you can also switch this lower part, which is actually much more difficult than the top part. So what I prefer to do, the way I do it, is you can see these little, round pegs. The way I do it is I will stick the screwdriver kind of behind that, and you use that and also pry. And so then it completely comes off, and boom. You can put whatever other torso you've cracked, however you want it to be, onto this figure now. See, this Diego should be nice and warmed up. And a good way to tell if a figure is warmed up or not is if you pull it and they're really floppy, loosey like that, like legs can bend and all that, then you know they're heated up. So, make sure you get all that excess water out because it will burn you. So to take the head skin off, what you want to do, I'm going to move this Triple H out of the way. What you want to do is take and grab it right underneath the chin for most figures, and you kind of just lift up and pull. And boom. Just like that, you've now successfully completed your first head swap. So for the arms, and you always want to take arms off to torso crack, it just makes everything easier. So you just saw like I did there, you just kind of take it, push back on it, and pull, and it comes right off. And if doing that leaves a little indent on here on the arm, all you need to do is just kind of push it back up and it'll go, right back in. So now we are ready to torso crack. And before we do that, I'm just going to do another little quick easy one. The boot tutorial is super easy. All you do is just kind of bend and it pops out. And then there's pegs. And yeah, so there's all that. And you can see these ball joints here. Actually, they're not ball joints. You can't see on camera very well, but there is a little line in there that does not make it easy to swap. So I'm not going to torso or leg swap this one. I'm going to use that Triple H. So you're going to want to take your medium-ish size screwdriver, pop it behind, and just start prying. And you can see some separation start right there, and that's good. Once you get it that far, stop, go to the other side, because you don't want to leave stress marks on it. And what the stress marks are, you can kind of see it there, that little white line where the screwdriver is. So once you've got it like that on both sides, take it, put it down the neck hole, and start prying there. And then once you've done that, just repeat all steps, and eventually you'll hear a noise like that crack, and that's what you want to hear. That's how you know it's cracking correctly. So then go back to the other side, and if it gives you trouble, go back down the neck, pry, back over to this side, and you want to hear that noise on both sides. That's imperative to hear that noise, because otherwise it will not crack very good if you try to just pry all off of one side. So you just pop it off like that, take these shoulders out, pull this little tingy off, pull this out and dump that water from in there that gathered, and then do like I said on that Macho Man, put it right here behind and just start prying here. And these parts, like I said, are more difficult to do, so it'll take practice with these, and it has cooled off by now. So sometimes when you're doing a big one like this, it takes a while for things to stay heated, so that cools off. So you just pop it back in. So while we're waiting on him, you can go ahead, pull out the Triple H and show you how to do this. So just move these parts off to the side. Boom. So what you do for leg swapping is you just kind of push up in here like this around the thigh. You just kind of take it and twist it, and it just kind of pulls right off. So I can show you again, kind of from a different angle like this. So you kind of just take and twist, and it just comes right off like that. So, once you've done that, go ahead, put it back on, don't put it back on, do whatever. I'm just going to put these back on for the sake of keeping the figure as complete as possible. So, that's how you leg swap, you know that now. Once you've got it back out, do like I said, take your medium-ish, get all that water off. Take your medium-ish, push behind, and pry. And I can say this, that certain sides of the figures are definitely going to be easier to swap and crack things on. Like for me personally, the right side seems to be easiest to get to crack, and probably that's just because I am right-handed. So if you get it like this and it's giving you trouble, you can try to go to the other side if you can. Like I said, I'm right-handed, so I just prefer to stay on this side, and it usually will crack. It's about to. And it'll fly off kind of like that, and boom. You have now successfully torso cracked your first figure. Good job. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.